Well, if you're looking for a way to live a little bit cheaper than a regular standard house, buying a mobile home is one option. Now, when it comes to buying a mobile home, you want to research the land and ensure that you're going to own the land, not do a lot rent. When you do a lot lease, which is a lot rent, you're pretty much just a tenant. You are just in an RV park per se. You don't own the property. You just own the structure on the property. But one of the issues with buying a mobile home, different from a regular home, is financing. How to buy it. If the property is more than 10 years old, it's going to be very hard to get a loan on it. And even if it's under 10 years or newer, you're probably going to have to put down more than a standard house, sometimes 25% down. A standard house, you can go as low as 3% down. If you had a VA loan, nothing down. The reason a standard home requires less down and a mobile home requires more down, even if you own the land, is because banks deem that mobile homes are more risky. They're an asset that, even with the land you own, doesn't appreciate, or even the structure itself could depreciate, go down in value, versus standard house, okay, that tends to appreciate. So it's a better investment, and it's more desirable to the masses to buy a standard house. Remember, most people that buy houses are buying for a family, to start a family, to live in with their family. And certainly people buy mobile homes, but a lot of times they're a smaller family, lower income, or retirees. So there's less people in the market for a mobile home versus standard home. So that economic standard of supply, how many people want, how many are produced versus demand, how many people want what's produced, there's more regular houses, standard houses, and there's more desire for that at this time in society than mobile homes. Okay, so that means that it's a more stable investment for a regular house versus a mobile home house. And I'm saying all that to say that's how banks look at it. You have to understand how banks look at it. Banks are loaning you money not because they're required to. They're loaning you money, okay, because it's an investment. It's an investment for them, and they get an interest. They get an interest rate back on their investment, and that's what they do. That's how they operate. That's their business. Like, it's some people's business to be a plumber. When you're a plumber, you go to someone's house, you unclog the drain or whatever your job is, and you get paid for it. When you're a bank, you have money, you loan it to someone to buy a house, okay, and you get the money back plus interest, okay? So it's just another way that society is structured to make money. Now, banks evaluate, though, just like a plumber would evaluate. Like, if a plumber comes to your house, or electrician, whatever, I worked in a trade for many years, you evaluate how big the job is, how hard it's going to be, how risky maybe even, and then you give a quote, you give a price. Banks do the same thing. They look at the property, they look at the land, they look at the structure, they look at the neighborhood, okay, they look at your credit score, they look at all the factors, evaluate it just like a plumber would, and then they give you a quote on interest rate based on what this job or what this house has, you know, what the risk is, okay, for their business. Okay, so the bottom line, when it comes to buying a mobile home, they may be cheaper. You don't want to buy a mobile home if you don't own the land, in my opinion. But if you find a mobile home that you want to buy, that you own the land, getting financing is going to be harder. That's the core message of this video. Either you're going to have to put more down, as an example, 25% or more, or the mobile home, the structure on the land you own is going to be so old that you can't get financing and you have to do a cash deal. And when you do a cash deal, that eliminates even less buyers. Remember, this is key now. Part of the reason that a standard house or a condo is more appealing to the masses is because they can get financing. Most people live on payments, not buying cash for a $100,000 property. So if you can't get financing, even if you have good credit and all that, because the investment is too risky for the bank, they don't give loans on it, then that means everyone else in society can't get a loan. That means now you've eliminated your demand side, how many people want to buy this, because they may want to buy it, but they don't have the financing. They don't have the resources. So now, if they don't have cash, they're eliminated as potential buyers. That in itself makes your property go down in value or appreciate less because there's not as many buyers just by default because they can't get financing. So you have to remember that when we're talking about buying properties with cash, because you can't get financing. If you can't get financing, your investment will go down in value or not appreciate as much, not go up in value over time as much as a regular standard house that can get financing. Again, because most people live on financing, not on cash. And that's what made, home prices appreciate so much when society went to a 30-year mortgage. Remember, home prices used to be a lot lower generations ago for several factors. Interest rates were higher, but also, 30-year loans for a house were not common. A 7-year loan for a car was not common. And so as society and banks stretched out the length of the loan, it lowered the payment, and it made the demand side, the amount of people that not only want it but can obtain it, it made more people able to do it. And when more people can do it, okay, then it's more, you have more leverage on how much you can adjust the prices. When you only have a few people that want what you have, you don't have pricing power to a certain extent, right? So these are a lot of factors that you have to consider when buying something such as a mobile home. And you need to consider them with all things you buy, this financing availability thing. Because when you can't get financing, that means that it eliminates potential buyers. And so I hope that this information that I've learned through my journey in looking at mobile homes, tiny homes, RVs, and just a way to live that's maybe a little bit more simpler, not necessarily though, and maybe a little bit more cheaper, not necessarily. Because you almost get screwed if you try to think you're beating the system by buying a cheap mobile home. Owning the land is key. If you own the land, you still got a shot. And some mobile homes are made very nice now, but the financing is what's going to get you, man. Even if the mobile home stays great, if society can't finance it after 10 years, that means even if you kept that mobile home in pristine shape, and even if you kept the land in pristine shape, it's not going to appreciate at the same rate a single family house on the same plot of land would. And so they get you on the front end or they get you on the back end. And it's not necessarily a good or bad thing. It's just the way it is. So you got to figure out what's worth it for you. But you have to understand this. You have to be informed. You want to get this knowledge. You want to do your own research so that you're operating, at a wise level. You've slowed down the rushing of wanting to buy something because it looks good, and you understand how finances, mobile homes, society, everything is structured so that you are more empowered, so that you control more of your life, so that you're not in this frenzy of house fever, but you're in this discipline, of a level of financial literature and emotional control, and the grace of God, because, look, you need some grace. It's nothing's an exact science in life. You could try to plan everything perfect, but we still make mistakes. But look, just sharing the video for information, for help, motivation, and all that. So thank you again. If you enjoy these videos and they help you, you want to support the channel, click the blue join button, click the thumbs up, leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you've ever bought a home. Check out my playlist on my YouTube channel, which has thousands of free videos. And thank you, everyone, for watching. Keep pushing forward. And remember, this is key. Your house doesn't make your life. Your daily routine makes up your life. Your life is nothing but the days of your life added together. And what you do on a day in, day out basis is the essence of your life. Not your kitchen, not your bathroom. It's how you live, okay? And what gives you purpose, what gives you shelter. Yes, we need shelter. It's a essence of survival. But more than that, we need to live below our means and up to our potential. We live below our means so that we can go after our passions. And if we don't know our passions, at the very least, we could take care of ourselves well. And when you take care of yourself well, okay, you enjoy life. Some people think buying a house, being dressed up, presenting yourself well is the key. And that's why a lot of people look good on the outside, but inside there's decay. There was a scripture about that, like you're careful to clean the outside of your cup, but inside is corrosion and corruption. And so don't look at society, look at yourself. Don't look at your family, look at yourself. What do you need to do for yourself? Okay. And that's key to life. Okay. All right. See you next one. Peace.